I burnt this gem. It's just to bring you up to speed on the application and where it stands now. This is probably easier to do than actually trying to type up a report. Uh, doesn't give you a lot of help in the way of context, but um, one of the things that I've done with the app, aside from getting it to work right with the new e-plan system, is to make it a lot more intuitive. It should be easier to set up everything, the state actions and everything related to that. Um, the old version, if there was something in there that the application didn't recognize, it might be important, but because you didn't have it configured, it would just blow right past it, and that's going to be a thing of the past. Now, each ePlan file is going to go under a lot more scrutiny, and I'm just going to dive right in and we'll work through the problems that arise when the plan importation fails. And, the objective here is basically to make it so it's a lot more intuitive and helps you out more rather than you having to figure it out yourself. So I'm going to click into the plan. These are the 4 files that you sent me. Basically, it says that it's important, but if you look, none of the state actions have been configured, nothing's done. So, with the old version, you'd have to kind of figure out why. The new version is going to tell you why. Anytime there's anything unrecognized or something's not quite right with the E-plan, it's going to give you a report. And it's going to pop up a dialog box. And also this box here indicates that there's an issue. Unknown E-plan entries have been found. Would you like to view the report? We'll click yes. What's going to pop up is a panel next to the offline tool that tells you, we have some unknown function groups here. And what it's going to do is it's going to list them and then highlight them. WZDs not recognized, GRGs not recognized, and it lists all the lines in the E-plan where it discovered these unknown function groups. So let's go into our system settings, go to our classification settings, and here's where we list all our gripper function groups. And sure enough, GRG isn't in there, so we're going to add it. Now, WZD is used for tool changer, and we don't necessarily want to say that that's an issue because we really don't care about the tool changer with regard to the gripper. So we see this tool changer here and we want to ignore it so we don't get false warnings. So I'm going to add that WZD to our function group mask. And basically this mask are things that are in the gripper E-plan that we necessarily don't care about. It might be nest IO, it might be a tool changer, it might, obviously it's something on the end of arm tooling, so it's part of the electrical prints, but it's not relevant to the gripper package. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And since we had an E-plan already loaded up and we made some system settings changes, it's going to ask us if we want to reload the E-plan. And voila, we got some state actions configured here. But it looks like we still have a problem. Again, it says unknown E-plan entries have been found. Would you like to view the report? I'll click yes. And it lists some more problems. And, all these underlined headings here all have a meaning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type up some documentation to explain what to do if this error pops up. So right now it says it can't match the output long text with the state action. So here's the output long text highlighted. And it looks like this is a vacuum on. I don't speak German well, but I set this up ahead of time so we can go all through this. So let's go back to system settings and let's link our output long text with a state action. So as I mentioned earlier, we're moving towards regular expressions. And regular expressions are a real powerful way to search through text and match it up. Now, we're not necessarily concerned with all this text, and as you can see, there's going to be a lot of variability when they start numbering things and specifying what it's picking up. And I believe this one says something about it's picking up a deck hood or something like that. Well, we don't care about any of that. Basically, we care about vacuum on. So I'm just going to type in a regex, and basically when this line gets fully highlighted, we're good. You want to kind of match the whole line. So we're interested in Sagan, and as you can see, as I type, it highlights what's being matched, and basically using regular expressions, and they're really nothing more than fancy wildcards. We're going to match the string. We're going to select our state action, and since it's vacuum on, we want a reset gripper state action. We get this all set up, we add it, and it just added it up here. So now we're going to save that, and we're going to see if this error goes away. It said it couldn't match the output long text with the state action. We're going to save it. It's going to ask us if we want to re-import, and if we're successful, all this should change to vacuum on. And it does. It's happy. But we still have issues. Click yes, and now it says I got an unknown valve type. Well, since we added that GRG to our function group up here in system settings, GRG says, okay, well, I have some kind of valve attached to GRG that I don't know about. Well, the reason it doesn't know about it is we don't have it entered in our valve type ordering. So, like I said, if it discovers something that it doesn't know what to do with, it's going to pop up this report so you can add it. So we're going to add our QM, which are for cylinders, and we're going to change the ordering. So our cylinders are first, our vacuum is second, and we're going to save this. And again, it's going to ask us to import. And look, we have our valves in there. But we still have issues. It's going to say that we have unknown I/O text classifications. And what does that mean? That means it's using long text instead of something shortened. Like here it's calling clamp open, and I got vacuum made here. But what we're looking for is to solve for this text. And my German's a little off. I did have that written down, but we're just going to go to it and wing it. Basically, we're going to go to our input long text. And this basically, once our state action is selected, for the output, which is extend pin GS, now it's going to match inputs, which, the valve was set to extend pin GS because the long text of the output matched it to that. Now we need to set our input text to this classification, and since, as you can see, there's a lot of the same classification here, it's depending on the actual state action of that input. So basically it's extend pin GS. I'm matching them up, and it's classification QM, MM, BG, and the IO text pin extended. We'll save that. Oops, you know what? I didn't save it, or I didn't add it. Darn it. We'll go back to system settings. So it's extend pin GS, QM, MM, BG. We're going to say it's pin 0, extended. And when all fields are satisfied, this add button will appear. And now we added it. Oh, that's the wrong spelling there. Vacuum made. And you can still go up here and edit it just like before, but this is basically just a worksheet to make it easier. You notice the state action combo box. You don't got to remember what the state action is anymore. It's, you'll have it from a drop-down list that you can select from. And it's same input classification. And we're going to make that retract or pin retracted. We're going to add that one. So now we're going to save it. And it's going to ask us to reload it. Let's see. We have no errors. There's no input. There's no box here telling we have errors. And we have a fully commissioned E-plan. Now, obviously, this one had problems, and as you improve your system settings and add your configuration into here, it's going to be rare for you to find one that you need to add information into this box. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to make an automated solution so that once this configuration is all set up and you think you got everything, I want to be able to dump all the E-plan files into one folder and go through them all to see if there's any entries that the offline tool doesn't recognize. And if there are, output a text file explaining what's missing. And this way we can dump every single E-plan for every single robot into one folder, have the application go through every single E-plan file and spit out another file saying, hey, I don't recognize this, blah, blah, blah. And then you can find out if everything's proper for a whole shop. At any rate, like I said, it's going to be a couple days before I get this out to you. I still want to do some tweaks here and there, and hope everything is going good, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.